So welcome everybody. I just want to take a couple minutes and share my story and kind of my journey to health with you. So I guess, like everyone, my health journey started when I was a kid, but when I look back at my childhood, I never really felt like my family was very sick. We had pretty good health history, and it wasn't, I don't know, I just felt like my family was really healthy. But as I got older and began to reflect back on my family, I really realized that we had a health history that was kind of scary. My grandfather had mental illness. He was bipolar, and my aunt was as well. And then I also had my mom, and also her mom also have severe allergic reactions. So anaphylaxis reactions to my grandmother, it was bees. And then my mom is allergic to red ants. And so that's kind of scary. There's also lots of heart disease in my family and lots of cancer. And so the more that I began to look at this, the kind of scarier it got. And I kind of started my health journey in October of 2012, when I just kind of had an awakening that maybe health was more than just losing weight, because my whole life it had been just about losing weight and getting skinny. And this had been a fight and a battle for my entire life, and I had never succeeded. And so I began to really realize that what I was doing now could affect my health long term and who I was, as a grown person in the future. And so, if you guys hear my daughter in the background yelling and screaming, I'm so sorry. She is choosing not to go to bed tonight. So such is life. I'm single parenting tonight. Nick is out of town, so it's just me. So hopefully she will eventually go to sleep. So if you hear her, then that is what's going on. So there you go. That's my life. So anyway, so I began to start making these changes in my life, and it started for me with food and realizing that food was more than just about calories and whether or not it made me skinny or not. And food was about the quality of the food that we put in our body. So it was nutrients versus calories. And so really learning what nutrients were and how nutrients affect our body. And so once I began to learn that and see that, all of a sudden food wasn't the same anymore. And it wasn't, you're not just eating for pleasure. I mean, it is pleasurable, but you're not just eating for pleasure. You're eating because food gives you nutrients, and nutrients bring life to your body. And so when I began to have that change, kind of holistically in the way I was eating, it kind of led to one thing after the next. So, then it's, your body care products, it's home cleaning products. It's just one thing after the next is what I kind of found. So it wasn't that I kind of had this revelation towards a natural lifestyle all in one day. It was not a single time, but for me, it was over the course of years, it began to take place in me and get deep rooted, and realizing that sickness, when I'm 60, can be prevented now. And what I do now can really affect who I become in the future. And so that's for me how it started. And so I'm going to kind of tell you a little bit too about the company that I found called Shaklee through my journey. And so it wasn't that I was looking for Shaklee necessarily, but I found Shaklee because I was taking multivitamins and they weren't working. I was pregnant with my first daughter, and I was looking, I was taking a Whole Foods multivitamin, and my vitamin levels, I would go to the doctor and they would check my nutrients, and they would say that you're low in vitamin D, that you're low in iron. And I would take extra supplements. I was already taking the multivitamin, and I was taking additional supplements, and I would still continue to be low. And so then I began to really realize that maybe my body wasn't absorbing these nutrients for some reason. Maybe something was wrong within me. And so that was when I found Shaklee. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about who the company is and why I found them. And eventually we're going to go to the non-toxic cleaning and what I found through non-toxic cleaning. So I'm going to share my screen with you right now. Okay. And so I hope that you guys can all see this. So, so this is Shaklee. We are going to talk about, 100 years ago, Shaklee invented the first multivitamin. Dr. Forrest Shaklee was basically, he was a doctor and started treating his patients with these natural supplements and really seeing change within them. And so that was when he invented that. And then 40 years later, the Shaklee company was born. And so Dr. Shaklee also invented the first plant-based protein supplement. And so some other things about the company we'll go back to this. This is the Shaklee Health Print, which we'll talk about in a couple more minutes. But this is a new tool that Shaklee has to where you can take a series of questions and see your results and see what they say. You know, what's your lifestyle score? How are you doing? You know, if we think that we eat healthy and we eat, good meals every day, and you take the health print and all of a sudden you get a 40, you score a 40 out of 100, maybe you have, to stop and reevaluate what is it that I'm doing and what can I be doing differently. And so Shaklee has created this health print as a tool for you to be able to see your lifestyle at a glance. So the mission of Shaklee is to provide a healthier life for everyone with our products, and a better life for anyone with our earnings opportunity. And so everything Shaklee does is designed to be in harmony with nature. Okay, and so Shaklee really, really believes in purity and safety. And so what they call it is beyond organic, because basically organic is just a method of growing things, but it doesn't necessarily ensure purity in the long run. Okay, and so our belief is that we have quality standards that go beyond and where an ingredient is grown. So it's more than just what is the ingredient, but they actually test the ingredients. They do over 100,000 quality control tests a year, and they try to ensure purity and potency of your ingredients. And so everything that you get, if you buy a vitamin from Shaklee, you can be assured that it's going to be pure and it's going to be potent. They screen for over 350 different contaminants, pesticides, impurities, and they also screen for heavy metals. And so anytime that you're buying a Shaklee product, you know that it's gone through a rigorous set of quality control standards. They've also proven all of their products by science. They have over 120 published papers in scientific presentations, and they have more than 70 patents and patent pending. And so those are some of the reasons that I've chosen to trust Shaklee, because I know that what I get from them is going to be pure and it's going to be potent. And so for me, I told you I started with the vitamins. And within a few weeks of starting on Shaklee supplements, my nutrients were back to normal and were healthy again. And so was it the Shaklee nutrients? Probably. Or was it just that the Shaklee nutrients were making my body naturally absorb the sunlight, the vitamin D that I wasn't able to absorb before? And so whatever it was, it actually made my body begin to absorb vitamins, whereas previously it had not been able to do that. And so that was when I became a believer that Shaklee products really do work, and that the science that they stand behind really is true. And it really is something it's a foundational truth for what this company is and how this company was built. And that was why I began to trust their cleaning supplies as well. Also, Shaklee has something called a landmark study, which is the first ever study of its kind that basically shows and evaluates health markers in long-term consumers of multiple Shaklee supplements who use supplements for 20 to 43 years. And so basically they're comparing these people to people who are on multivitamins and then people who are on no supplements at all. And you can look at these numbers and see the different types of success rates that these people were having for their health. So basically they were having better biomarkers for their health. So lower levels of triglycerides, lower cholesterol, lower homocysteine, which is for brain health, and lower levels of C-reactive protein, which is for biological stress. And so a lot of these things end up resulting in lower risk of like cardiac disease and things like that. And so it was really, really interesting to see this study, because it's one of the first studies that's been done on long-term supplementation. And so Shaklee basically has been proven by people, loyal product users or athletes who count on Shaklee to fuel their performance. So Shaklee athletes have totaled 137 medals in the Olympics so far. And Shaklee is also the company that is trusted by NASA, and a lot of other high quality scientific companies also trust Shaklee as well. And so the Shaklee difference, one thing that you will see is that Shaklee is guaranteed to be safe, and all of their products are guaranteed. And so they always stand behind their products. And so if you ever buy something, whether it's a cleaning supply or a vitamin or a protein powder or a face wash, and you don't like it, then you can get your money back. And that is for me, one of the most assuring things about this company is that they do guarantee their products. And so now that we've talked a little bit about Shaklee, we're going to go ahead and jump into what it is to have a healthy home. And we're going to look at two very important areas. We're going to talk about what we use to clean our homes and how it affects the health of our families and the environment. And we're also going to talk about keeping your drinking water clean of impurities and keeping it safe to drink. So you guys seem to hear, but in Shaklee, we believe that your home should be the safest place on the planet, and that your cleaners really should not be leaving behind more toxins than what they're supposed to be cleaning. And so a couple of facts for you is that the average person spends 90% of their time indoors, and also 90% of all poisonings occur at home. And so my daughter actually drank our germicide, and she did not get sick off of it. She drank the Shaklee germicide one day, and we had to call poison control, and it was very scary. It was not a time that I looked forward to, but when we called poison control, the person that we talked to, pulled out all the information they had about the Shaklee germicide and was not one bit concerned about the health of her. And they said she'll be just fine. We didn't have to go to the hospital. We didn't have to induce vomiting or anything. And so for me, I know that my cleaning supplies in my house are safe. My kids do get into everything. And so for me to hear that 90% of all poisonings occur at home is not surprising to me at all, because my children are constantly in cabinets, pulling out things, opening bottles, and drinking things. And so that is common for us. And so it's kind of scary when you think that chemical pollutants are higher inside your home than outside of your home. And so air pollution is typically much higher in a home than out of a home. And so that's something we have to stop and say, why are our houses toxic? Why are they polluted? Why would it be polluted in our house? And so when you spend time indoors, you're possibly exposed to chemical pollutants that can remain in your air from cleaners, but also it can be from upholstery, from your furniture, it can be your mattress. So these toxins can be in a lot of different areas in our house. So I guess you probably know this, but personal care products and household cleaners are probably the most leading cause of poisonings in children. And so our kids, if you see this, 25 million of our kids suffer from asthma, and that's 1 in 10 school-age kids right now have asthma, and that number has gone up significantly over the past 20 years. I'm not sure if you know this or not, but there are over 80,000 chemicals that have been introduced into our market, so things you can buy at the grocery store that have been introduced into this country over the past 30 or 40 years, so over 80,000. And I think less than 10% of them have actually been tested for toxicity. And so these chemicals are not tested for anything. The big name companies make them realize that they work. They put them in a product and then they sell them to you on the shelf, and then they'll typically actually test them for any sort of toxicity. So you're not guaranteed that what you're getting is safe. So indoor air pollution consists of toxic gases or particles, and they can harm your health. And so these can be, I know we talked about this, we're going to keep them. So some different effects that you could experience. You may or may not have experienced these things from indoor air pollution, but we can have respiratory irritation. We can have bronchitis, emphysema, eye, nose, and throat irritation, respiratory infections in children, headaches, nausea. And so these are a lot of different sicknesses that can all be linked to indoor air pollution from our chemicals, from the things that we have in our house that we don't even know are there, things that we don't smell, and things that we don't assume are going to hurt us. And so there's some different things you can do about indoor air pollution, and you guys probably know these, but obviously use products safely. But I think one of the biggest things is to provide ventilation in your house, and then also get out the toxic chemicals from your house. And so that's one of the biggest things. So we're going to talk real quick about some of the different harmful ingredients that you're going to see in different products under your sink. And so sodium hydroxide is one of the most common ones. And so sodium hydroxide can be found in dishwashing liquids. It can be found in laundry products, oven cleaners, scouring cleansers, tub and towel cleaners. Another popular one is hydrochloric acid, which can be found in odor eliminators, toilet bowl cleaners, And the EPA has said that all of these things are toxic to human health. And so you're going to see that they're hazardous to human health, I think is the wording that they use. They're still for sale in a grocery store, and people are still using them every single day. And so a lot of these, and so another common chemical to look out for is butyl-salicylate, and that's going to be in all of your all-purpose cleaners, your cleaning wipes, your degreasers, floor polish, which who really has time to polish your floors, but someone might. And rug shampoos, again, who has time to shampoo their rugs, but some people might. And that butyl-salicylate is also in toilet bowl cleaners, tub and towel cleaners, window cleaners. And so it's basically anything that you can buy if you're not very, very intentional to be sure it does not have toxic ingredients in it. It probably has toxic ingredients in it. Things that can harm your respiratory system, things that can harm your fingers when you spray them. And so all sorts of things long term can be happening from these chemicals, whether or not you see them or know that they even exist. These are the ones we just talked about. Okay, so it's Shaklee, kind of the difference, the Shaklee difference that we talked about. So Shaklee has non-toxic and natural cleaning choices and cleaning supplies that don't contain any of these harmful ingredients. So you can look at this list of things, and these are products that are not in Shaklee's cleaning supplies. And so they also have earth-friendly products. And so these earth-friendly products, we're going to talk in just a few minutes about why specifically, like what makes them earth-friendly, but this is some of the things about how they're recyclable. They're sustained from natural sources and then also sustainable natural sources. And so those are some of the great things about Shaklee. So I want to go through some of our products real quick, and we're going to talk about them, about what's different about some of these products. And so I'm going to show them to you. I think I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and I'm going to show some of these products to you because I think this is really impactful for you to actually see what these products are. And so for me, this product is called, this is probably our most popular product. It's called Basic H. Okay, and so Basic H is going to be, it's an all-purpose concentrate. And so it's going to be the main cleaner that we use for everything. And so when you buy, there's actually a kit that you can buy. I'm going to show you the kit just out of curiosity in case you're curious of what actually comes with it. And you have to bear with me because it's pretty big. So here's part of it. Okay, you see all these things? And then here is the other part of the kit. Got it? Okay, so there's a lot of stuff in here. We're going to go through some of these real quick. So this Basic H is going to be your floor cleaner. It's going to be a degreaser, an all-purpose cleaner, and a window cleaner. And so you get these lovely bottles here. And then you fill these up with water. And then you're going to use, for the all-purpose cleaner, you use a 1/4 teaspoon of this. And so the reason that we talked about the environmental impact, so I want you to think to yourself, okay, so this bottle, if you're just using it as an all-purpose cleaner, which is this bottle right here, so we're just making all-purpose cleaner, this makes 48 gallons of all-purpose cleaner. 48 gallons, that is insane. And so if you are using it as a window cleaner, which is this bottle, okay, it makes over 5,000 bottles of window cleaner. And so when you're looking at the environmental impact, this is not just the fact that this bottle is recyclable. That's a very small thing to the environmental impact. But what you want to consider is the fact that our transportation cost is so much lower because now, you know, Walmart is not getting 5,000 bottles of Windex shipped to them. And so that's going to cause greenhouse emissions, all sorts of different things because of just the transportation cost. Okay, so that's one of the huge things. I think I forgot to mention this, but Shaklee was the first company to be certified as climate neutral. And so that basically means that they have a net zero impact on the environment. They have no impact, no negative impact towards the environment at all. So this is our Basic H. This is the kind of the powerhouse cleaning product. It does everything, and it's very effective. And so I use it to clean my bathtub. I use it to clean my sink. I use it to clean my counters. I use it to clean my floors. It cleans absolutely everything. And so that is something that I absolutely love. That's probably one of my favorite products. Okay, so we're going to move on to something else. So I will tell you that in 1960, Shaklee introduced his Basic H, and they were the first one of the first biodegradable non-toxic cleaners. And so one reason I also have grown to trust Shaklee is because they've been around for so long. they were basically doing the whole natural thing before it was cool and before people even knew that it was important. They were already way ahead of their time in understanding what needed to happen and was important. And so, all right, so we talked about that. And so the Basic H doesn't contain any dyes, toxic fumes, hazardous chemicals, fragrances, or chlorine. And so in the bathroom, another one that you can use is these Germ-Off disinfecting wipes. Okay, so these wipes are ones that I carry. We have these in the car with us, and everything I'm showing you is part of the Get Clean kit, which is $100 investment you can buy, and you get free shipping this month. And that basically it gives you enough products for a long time. This Basic H will probably last you, I've heard anywhere from 5 to 8 years, and the number of years that I've heard this last people. So you're not going to go through it anytime soon. Okay, so Germ-Off wipes are really good for the bathroom. We keep these in the car for our potty trained 2-year-old who, we always have a potty in the car. And so these are what we use to wipe out the potty. Another product that I think is pretty impactful is going to be this dishwashing soap. And so I know I've told some of you guys about how much I love this dish soap. But I considered this product for a long time from Shaklee before I actually bought it, because I was like, do I really need, what is non-toxic dish soap? Does it matter? And so I was using what looks like non-toxic enough, basically. I was using Method. And when I got this product, y'all, this product, the bottle that we have will probably last us for 6 months. We are 4 months in. And we still have another couple inches to go in our bottle. And we wash our dishes exclusively by hand. We don't have a dishwasher right now, which is very sad. We have a family of 4 who eats at home at least 3 meals a day, and we wash all of our dishes by hand. And this will last us for 6 months. And so it's remarkable how concentrated the Shaklee products are, and what that does for the environment, and also what that does for your budget, because you don't have to continue to buy these products every month, every 2 months. And so I will use this. I'll put 1 drop of dish soap on my sponge, and I'll wash 4 or 5 dishes, or I'll fill a sink with water and maybe put 4 or 5 drops for a sink of water instead for a sink of water for dishes. So it's one of the products that I love. So another one is going to be dishwashing liquid. And so I want to talk just for a second about another way that Shaklee has a big environmental impact. Or really, I guess, a little environmental impact. So if you see this comes in this little pouch, which is totally usable, but it also has this little dispenser that you can get. Okay, this comes in the Get Clean kit. If you buy it, all comes in the kit. But this dispenser, what to me is remarkable about it is that Shaklee ships this to you. If you buy it, now, and then you buy it in, again in 6 months or however often you need it, it's shipped to you in this little pouch. Okay. And so then you can have this little dispenser here, and you pour the pouch into the dispenser. Now, some people think that's weird. Why would I do that? Why doesn't it already come in the dispenser? And that's what people ask. Why is it not already in the dispenser? And here's why. Because let's say, hypothetically, this little jug costs $1, okay? So every time you're buying a product from most companies, you pay them a new $1 to get this new jug that you take, and then you throw it in the recycling, and the next month you get another one, and you throw it in the recycling, you get another one, you throw it in the recycling. But so instead, what Shaklee's done is they've eliminated that, and they say, you know what, you can use this forever, so instead we're going to just make it to where you refill it, okay? And so that's one thing that they've done that has really made a big impact on the environment, because they're not selling you this every time, and you're not having to pay for this every time. And so that's the same thing with our skincare. The bottle of cleanser does not come with a pump in it, like a little pump, which is, can surprise people if you didn't know that you needed to get it separately, and I can help you with that. But however, then the next time you go and you purchase the facial cleanser, you don't have to buy a new pump. And so instead of paying an extra $1 for your product every single time you buy this product, you don't have to do that. And I think that for me is a remarkable thing, because in the long run, one, you're saving money, but also it really is making a big environmental impact. And so, so that's for me is a really big thing. So so this dishwashing concentrate, you only use 2 teaspoons. So you're not filling your entire cup, your whole dishwasher cup. You're not filling the whole thing up. And apparently I haven't used this because I don't have a dishwasher right now. I will soon. but apparently this, you don't have to pre-wash any of your dishes. And so that for me is a deal breaker. I'm never going to pre-wash a dish ever. And so this is great. So yeah, so you're probably going to want this product. We're going to keep moving on. Okay, so laundry detergent. Same type of thing in the sense that there's actually a pump that you can get with this to where you pump your laundry detergent in. And so it comes with this little lid and then you can pump it on. The laundry detergent is remarkable. It does a really great job of stain removal. It gets the chainsaw gas smell out of my husband's clothes. He trims trees for a living, so he always smells like wood chips, sawdust, and chainsaw gas. And so this does a really great job. It comes in with a gentle scent or fragrance-free. And all of our scents are they're not synthetic scents. They're all naturally derived. And so anything that is a scent is very mild and should not affect your allergies or sense of smell or anything. And so the laundry product is one that I love. This also comes in a powder. The liquid is the best for high efficiency machines, but if you just have a normal laundry, old school laundry machine, you can also buy the powder, and that's going to be a little bit cheaper in the long run. But so both the products are really good and really effective. Another one is going to be this laundry booster. It has a dog on the cover. I'm not really sure why, but this is going to be so if you like to put bleach in with your towels or try to really get your clothes really white and bright, this is going to be the product for you. And so you can use this to pre-soak things, to pre-soak your clothes, or to just throw it in directly with the washing machine. All right, we're moving through. This is the rest of the Get Clean kit. These dryer sheets, they're all made from, they're all recyclable material, but it's all vegetable-based sheets. And they are also, really good at reducing static cling. They compare very well to, your regular store-bought brand. Okay, and then moving on, a bunch of scrubby type things, microfiber and scrubby things that you can use. And so that is kind of an intro for you to the Get Clean kit. And to me, the reason that this kit is so effective is because if you are looking to detox your house and you're looking to detox your life, but you don't necessarily know where to start, this is a really good starting place for most people. It's not for everyone. For me, I don't have a dishwasher, and I know some other of you don't have dishwashers, and so it's not necessarily for everyone. But all of these products can be purchased individually as well. And but it's a really great thing. And so all these products are non-toxic. They're all naturally derived. That's one thing I didn't talk about is, so for instance, the Basic H is made out of, it's derived from coconut and corn, is what most of any of the surfactants and these things are derived from. And so, yeah, I'm going to look through my notes and see if I missed anything. Okay, so there are, one minute. Okay, so the second thing I want to talk about real quick is drinking water. Let me turn back to this. We have just a couple more minutes. Nope, one moment. Okay. Sharing my screen with you. I just went through all these. Okay, so clean water. I don't know if you guys know this, but 20% of human lead exposure comes from drinking water. And so Shaklee has this really great charcoal filter. And so it reduces up to 99% of lead from water. And so each filter filters up to 80 gallons. So I think that's pretty impressive. And so from what I've heard, it outperforms Brita and Pure. And they have research studies to back this. And so it's the first refillable carbon block pitcher. So the Get Clean water is certified to measure up to a lot of the standards. I'm trying to read this and I don't even know what it says. So I'm going to ignore that. But it keeps the planet green by using the first refillable carbon block pitcher filtration system. So each filter is made from sustainable coconut shell carbon. So yeah, just wanted to tell you about that as well. And so we talked about the Get Clean kit. I'm going to go back. Oh, okay. Good. Okay, you're still here. I thought I lost you guys. Okay. So one other thing I want to tell you about the Get Clean kit is that so when you purchase that, you end up saving 108 pounds of packaging waste from landfill, and that also eliminates 248 pounds of greenhouse gas. And so there's 3 different ways that you guys can get started for those of you who are interested in purchasing some non-toxic cleaning supplies. You can either use the products, so you can join as a member with Shaklee, and the membership, Shaklee has a membership of $20. And I think it's $19.95 actually. And then once you have that membership, you're a member for life. Okay, and so you never have to buy another membership. And what that membership does is it gives you about 15 to 25% off of the retail price of products for life. And so you never have to buy anything. You never have to buy that membership again. But a lot of products actually come with a free membership. And so the Get Clean kit is one that actually comes with a free membership. And this month it also has free shipping. This is April for anyone interested. This is April 2017. It also has free shipping. And so you can just use the products, and that's the first way to join Shaklee. The second way is to share the products with people. And so you can just join as a distributor. And I'm going to share my screen again. Oh, I lost it. Oh, here it is. Okay. There you go. So you can share the products and earn your products for free. And so that's another way to really join Shaklee, is just to share the products. You know, once you find something that you love, you start telling people. And so if you're interested in getting your products for free, that is an option for you. And then the third way is to join as a distributor and to begin to build your business. And so you can either use the products, or you can just share them with your friends, or you can begin to build a business. And so there's a lot of different ways and different things that could be right for you. And hopefully one of these is right for you. So can you guys see my face right now? Okay, I'm back. All right, so that's all. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and write them in the comments. Thank you all for joining tonight. And I hope that we'll be in touch within the next couple of days if you have any questions and there's anything I can do to help answer any questions for you.